So you have a oneness with people. You also have a oneness with yourself. And that's really important and what I would like to focus on today. So the goals today are about transcending the conditions of your humanity, because your human self, we are born spiritual. When we come here to this earth, we don't have any human capability. We can cry, can't get up and walk, we can't feed ourselves, we can't have a logical conversation with anybody. None of that can occur. So we are totally dependent on our caretakers and our parents. So we are pretty much 100% totally spiritual. After a little while, though, we start to learn about life and learn about the world, and we start to develop ideas, opinions, conditions, perceptions. Now we become a little more human. So the idea is all these things that you've experienced in your life, all of these conditions, all of these traumas, all of the bad things, all of the good things, everything that you are from a human being is one part of you. But there's another part of you that wants to come through those experiences where we find ourselves saying, oh my God, why does this always happen to me? Well, that's the condition of your humanity. If you figure that out, it'll probably be a heck of a lot better for you. So the idea is all those things that's happened, that's been done to us, can we undo them? Or can we know where they came from? Can we figure that out? Because that is one of the hugest things that I discovered, that I don't have to function the way I am in the world because my dad wasn't really nice to me, or because people treated me this way, or because I was on my own, or I don't have to be a certain way because the world told me that's the way I have to be. It's my tendency, it's my nature, it just kind of, I am that way. So we want to kind of look at that as an observer to try to recognize what our perception is, so we can transcend those traumatic experiences or the things in our life that bring us, pain or sorrow. We want to become friends with our soul, that other part of me that I saw, that popped out, the see-through me, the hologram me, the soul part of me that is independent of my human experience. The reason, why do we want to become friends with our soul? Because guess what? That's all you get to take to heaven. So if you're friends and she's got all your experiences, when you go to heaven, woo, that's awesome. You get to take every part of your humanity with you. Because any anger or anything of discrepancy or anything of non-truth will not go with you. That is your human mind. It's not going with you. Truth will go with you. So every experience and every person and every relationship, from the moment you look in the mirror at your own relationship with your own self, and at the moment that you're looking at the person sitting next to you, make it true. Because if it isn't true, you're wasting your minutes here on earth, because you can't take it with you. You can only take the part of you that is true. In doing that, we know that the soul is eternal. We know that the soul is not measured by time. So we want to transcend the barriers of time. And in doing that, we create union not only with our own soul, but also with other people in our life. So awareness. Pierre, I don't know how to say this. Pierre, who speaks French? Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. He is a French philosopher who spent, and a Jesuit priest actually, that spent quite a long time in his experience and his journey on earth trying to come to terms with the existence of the human body and the spirit body and the relationship, and that really transcends here on the earth, and how does it impact your everyday human life. And like most of the people, all of the people, you included, in your quiet moments when you have a recognition of the soul self or the spiritual self, we can know that it is not measured by time because it is eternal. So think about this. Have you ever, here's my example of that. I used to work downtown. I actually used to work in Deerfield, I'll tell you that one. And I live in Lake in the Hills, so that's about a 45-minute drive. And here's what I remember about that morning. I remember starting the car. I remember putting my stuff in the car. I remember getting in the car. I remember backing out of my driveway. I remember going to the first busy road, and I remember making a left-hand turn. And then I remember parking and pulling into my parking lot at work. And I'm like, oh, crap. Whoa, where did 45 minutes go? I zoned, I lost time. I had no recognition of time. Has this ever happened to you? This has happened to a lot of people. I call it my moment of absence. When did I lose time in space? What happens there? How is it possible you could drive to work and not have an awareness of the street you passed, whether you blew a stop sign or not, which road you took this time, because you've lost time. You've been experiencing an eternal moment. If you are experiencing an absence of time or an eternal moment, you are unified and one with your own soul. That means something. That was her invitation to me. Like, hey, let me help you out here today. So, it just so happens that the night before, I was a software engineer, and the night before I had to do a peer review the next day, and I had to turn over some application code, and it was not working. And so I stayed late at work, and I was so confused, I didn't know what was wrong, and so before I went to bed that night, I was like this in my prayer: any dead programmers want to come and help me out tomorrow? That would be awesome. And I said a prayer like that, just kind of in conversation, and I went to work. And so later that afternoon, well, I knew I experienced a loss of time, so that means obviously my spirit wants to tell me something, because I'm not in that time. I'm not in time. So 2 o'clock, my peer review is at 3. 2 o'clock, I'm walking out of the bathroom to go have a cigarette when, boom, some code answer thing pops in my head. I'm like, no, that'll never work. Have you guys ever responded to your own thought and argued with it before? Yeah, we all do that. So I was like, no, that'll never work, but I'm gonna try it. Thanks. So I went and I tried it, and what do you know? It worked. And so I was thanking my spirit, and it then dawned on me, oh, that's why she dodged out this morning, to go get me an answer and to bring it back. And so when you lose time, that is your soul inviting you if it wasn't your choice to do so. But I have choices too, where I just need to connect with myself and I need to connect with my soul. So I go dancing, because I can lose time when I dance. I can lose 2 or 3 hours and it feels like only 20 minutes. So sometimes you have to invite your soul, because predominantly your soul tries to invite you all the time. What do you really like to do? Where do you lose time? Try to lose time, because in the loss of time and in your absence of time, your body will heal. Your mind will heal. Your emotions will heal. Why do you think they put people into an induced coma? So their bodies can heal. They lose time. They're gone 3 months. They have no idea. They come back, their body's better. Transcend time. Your body will get better. Your emotions will get better. Your life will get better. That's easy. Go do something you like. And this will help you adjust to time and start to begin to live in an eternal experience with your own soul, which is really our goal. The human self is the physical self. It is measured by time. It expresses our individuality, our separation, our confusion, but our uniqueness. Our uniqueness. Sometimes I look at people and I'm like, wow, how does God express himself like that through them? That's amazing. How is that happening? How is that coming through? So the physical self can create a kind of a limitation for that soul self to come out, because how many times do you bite your tongue? How many times do you want to tell somebody something but you don't, because you don't want to hurt their feelings? How many times do you say, sure, I'll go, when you really don't want to go? How many times do you tell your soul self no, and then go and experience a moment in your life where you don't lose time, where you can't wait to get out of there, where you're like, oh my God, it's only been 20 minutes? It feels like 4 hours. Because when you lose time, 4 hours feels like 20 minutes. See? So that's our goal. That's what we want to do. We do appreciate the confusion. We do appreciate the separation. We do appreciate the individuality. That's how we're expressing. That's beautiful. It's divine too. It's human and it's good. We don't walk away from one or another part of us because we deem or view one or the other to be more important. That isn't the way it works. So you are perfect. You are part of the whole. You are an expression of God. You are divinely created. You are divinity. You are intuitive. You are divinely spirit and divinely human. You are a healer, because at that spot where you lose time, at the state of observance between the human and spiritual selves, you are a healer, and that is love.